Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Today we are from Group 12. We are so excited to present our research proposal by the title The Influence of Using Vocabulary Games on Students' Vocabulary Mastery. This study investigates how vocabulary games can serve as a transformative tool in Indonesian EFL classrooms. To begin, let's look at the critical problem that inspired this study. In many Indonesian EFL contexts, conventional vocabulary instructions often leave students disengaged and struggling to communicate, as noted by Wilkins. Without grammar, very little can be conveyed. Without vocabulary, nothing can be conveyed. However, the current reality relies heavily on rote memorizations, decontextualized word list drilling, and direct translation. These methods lead to high student anxiety, monotonous learning experience, and a fundamental inability to actually utilize language skill in real-world scenarios. The core of the issue lies in a significant gap between receptive breadth and productive depth. While students might recognize many words during reading or listening, what we call the axis of breadth, they frequently fail to transition to the Y axis of productive knowledge, such as speaking and writing. They recognize words but cannot use them spontaneously. Our research objective is to bridge this gap by investigating the specific mechanism, retentions, contextual understanding, and motivations that drive game-based vocabulary mastery. Okay, the theoretical framework and research design. Building on that problem, we propose vocabulary games as a catalyst for change. Unlike conventional methods that are teacher-centered and rely on passive receptions, game-based learning is student-centered and demands active participations. Game functions by lowering the affective filter, creating a low anxiety environment where the fear of failure is minimized. This shifts the cognitive loading from isolated memorizations to contextualized applications and rapid recall. Okay, to explore this phenomenon, we have chosen a qualitative descriptive case study designed following the framework of Yin 2018. We believe that complex learning phenomena require deep contextual explorations rather than just isolated quantitative measurements. Okay, next, our research is rooted in an interpretive paradigm where we assume that meaning is socially constructed through classroom interactions. A case study is the most appropriate choice here because it enables a bounded holistic investigations of the how and why within a real-life EFL environment. And the scope of this study is especially focused on vocabulary breadth and depth, though both conventional formats like crossword and guessing games and digital formats such as Wordwall and Quizlet by focusing on boundaries. We aim to generate an evidence-based blueprint for EFL curriculum development that moves beyond simple memorizations. Okay, for the next material will be presented by my friend Neng Fitria Parhani Eska. The time for her.
Okay. Now, let's discuss the who and where of our study. This research will be conducted at State Junior High School in Garut, West Java. We will focus on a single grade, 8 classroom consisting of approximately 35 students. We selected this group through purposive sampling because these students have already acquired foundational English and are at a critical stage for expanding their vocabulary. Additionally, the English language teacher will serve as our key informant, providing insight into instructional planning and facilitation decision. Next. To ensure our findings are credible, we are employing a robust triangulation strategy. We will use three primary instruments to capture a complete picture of the learning journey. First, classroom observation, a non-participant observation to capture student interaction, vocabulary production, and effective responses during gameplay. Next, semi-structured interview. Post-implementation interview with both student and the teacher to explore their personal perception of motivation and retention. And finally, vocabulary assessment. We will use diagnostic and achievement assessment to establish a baseline and measure measurable gain in both receptive and productive knowledge. Next. Our implementation process follows a structured four-phase progression to accurately document the student experience. Phase 1 is the baseline. Here, we administer the diagnostic test to establish the student's existing vocabulary knowledge before any intervention. Phase 2 is the intervention. This is the core of the study where we implement the game. We will facilitate both conventional crossword and digital tools like word wall while carefully recording field notes during every session. Phase 3 is the outcome. Following the intervention, we administer the achievement. These two capture any measurable gains in vocabulary mastery. And next, phase 4 is the reflection. Finally, we conduct our semi-structured interview. This phase is crucial for capturing the thick, descriptive account of the student and teacher experience that numbers alone cannot show. Okay, next. My friend, presenter next is Alia.
Okay, thank you for Neng Pitria. Okay, for this slide, is there thematic coding and descriptive analytic combined to produce the holistic and supported narrative. Our analysis will follow two distinct tracks to produce a holistic narrative. Is the track A is our qualitative phase using the thematic analysis framework by Brown and Clark. We will engage in repeated reading of transcript, line by line coding, and the generation of themes from our interview and file notes. And for track B is our quantitative phase, where we use descriptive analysis to compare pre-test and post-test score, allowing us to identify patterns of improvement. To ensure the trustworthiness of our findings, we have built in several checkpoints. Beyond the data and method triangulation we've already mentioned, we will use member checking, where we share our initial interpretation with the participant to ensure we've captured their views accurately. We will also maintain reflexivity, acknowledging our own roles as research in the interpretive process. The final output will be rich, contextually grounded descriptive account. Okay, for inclusion, this research offered a threefold contribution. The first is the promise is to shift Indonesian EFL classroom towards student-centered, low anxiety, and highly contextual environment. And the second, the rigor, is provided by our tightly bounded qualitative design and triangulated data source. And finally, the output will strategy for educators to implement vocabulary games effectively. We believe this study will empower learners with active study habits and provide teachers with the tools they need to move beyond the limitation of rote memorization. Thank you for your time and attention. We are now open to any question or feedback you may have regarding our methodology. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.